Alliestrasza, do you know that I'm like a cowboy in real life? I can like stand on their back,
Wow, I did
do
not know
backflips.
this.
No,
Or, or,
I
or,
can't
or
actually do
you
them.
could introduce the show since we're live.
We're live right now. Oh my god.
Oh,
And then he
Giddy
froze.
up, baby. We're live on the interwebs. Welcome to Around the Metaverse. I don't know what that is. I'm just a simple cowboy, but it's a weekly show where we bring
Yeah.
together the best content creators from around the Web3 community to talk about recent news and give you guys everything you need to know to stay up to date. That's called the Web3 News, baby. All right, welcome to the show. As you can tell, I'm at a mountain retreat. I'm a cowboy today, and I've wrangled up all these Web3 content creators, all these people, giddy up, my little darling. CryptoStache thinks I'm lying, but I'm
Ra-
actually just out in the backyard with my
wrangling
horses.
on up there, Agent Doug. Wrangling on up.
They call me in. They're like, Stewie, it's dinner time. You got to get around the metaverse going. We have amazing people with us today around the room, all right? And I've ordered them in this order for no particular reason, okay? Number one, we've got Alliestrasza. She's amazing. She's magic. She's on the Twitch streams. She's in the conferences like GDC. We met there and we did some content and we hung out over at in Austin, Texas. Giddy up at Consensus. That was a lot of fun. You even came on to Hype and that was cool too. So excited to have you here, Ollie. What do you go by in everyday life when you're hanging out with all your friends and you're drinking energy drinks and stuff? Like, what do people call you? Like Miss Straza? Do they call you like Miss Pep, Miss Energy? Like, what do you go by?
No, just Allie. Just Allie's the
Okay,
name. So
if you guys don't know like who Ollie is, she's amazing. But maybe just give little people an intro about what you've been up to, a little bit about yourself, what you love about Web3 gaming and gaming in general.
yeah, real quick, I've been a gaming content creator for over 8 years. Primarily, my biggest platform is my Twitch channel, streaming strategy games, card games specifically, Hearthstone, and got into Web3 gaming in the last, gosh, I don't know, like 18 months to 2 years. And my big focus right now is parallel TCG, big fan. But yeah, I genuinely think that blockchain gaming is the path forward, and is a better system for the players of the game. So that's why I'm here, and I'm trying my best to move the industry forward in any way that I can.
So that's what's really great. I love this because that's the games I'm worst at. I'm like least good at trading card games, and you're really good at them. So I was like, I wonder if Allie will even be my friend and talk to me. As she knew how bad I was at. Whenever I'm in there, I'm like, this game's fun. I'm so smart, and I lay down the cards, and it's just like, it's just not
TCGs
good.
are not easy, man, and they're not for
They're
everybody.
not
aren't.
easy.
Yeah.
They're not for everybody. Like it
We
takes
need
a
to play
lot of
more trading
knowledge.
card games on the ranch here. You know what I mean? I need to get my practice in. I really appreciate you coming on the show, Ellie. I love everybody playing into all these bits and stuff. It's wonderful. It's amazing. Okay, person number 2 on the list. You're number 2, and this is no particular order, but your number dose. We got John here from Lowlife Forums. John, look at the background you have behind you. It looks like you're at the club. Are you like a nightclub owner
Strip club?
/ Web3 founder? Because
Looks like a
those are
strip
really
club.
good sides. Like when you can talk about like moonlighting, you know what I mean? Like you do moonlighting where you're like, oh, I have this gig, this side gig, but do you just have like a whole life full of moonlighting? Like,
Yeah,
is
this is
moonlighting your favorite television show?
for sure. Of course it is. Yeah. No, this is
And
just
if you
what
guys
our
don't know,
office
Low
looks like
Life
in
Forms
space.
is John is on the team of Low Life Forms, and let me tell you something about Low Life Forms. Okay, John is a great representation of Low Life Form. Please, John, will you introduce yourself and let them know a little bit more about what you're into right now, what's going on with you with Low Life Forms?
Sure. Yeah. I'm the marketing head for Red
There you
Sugar, who makes the upcoming RPG shooter, Low Life Worms. And like Doug said, we got a lot of stuff going on right now, but the biggest thing is working on the game, doing cool stuff, getting on all these shows with Mr. Doug Hype. And
All right, let me tell you the real lowdown on John here. Okay,
real
the real
lowdown.
lowdown is if you're John's friend, the real lowdown, all right, when we're sitting around the
Hoedown.
campfire, John is the one. He's got the good
The real
stories.
hoedown.
He's
Yeah,
a
well, that was
funny
a missed
guy.
opportunity. The real hoedown. Come on, let's go. Thanks, Allie. Thank you.
Now he's frozen.
A real hoedown.
Sorry,
A real hoedown. I didn't hear that part. I'm sorry, but John's a great dude. We've been buddies for a while. He like John, you got a great style where you like talk to people, you get him on DMs, you have good conversation, and we become buddies and stuff. I love that so much. That's like my favorite part about Web3, all the good relationships we have here. So John knows. He has no John, you have no fear. You're just right in there. You're like, Doug, let's go. Let's talk about these things. It's really cool. And I really am looking forward to all this stuff happening with the Lowlife forums. Technically, anything I say is an asterisk because I am paid by Lowlife forums to say nice things about them. But it's very smart for them to do that because I'll just talk about them all day. So, John, thanks for coming on the show. Now to contestant number 3 on this amazing game show, we got VanHo. And some people say Von, some people say Van. I don't know how to pronounce it right. But not only
So
are
hold
you
on,
a
wait,
KOL
hold on.
creator for,
I got a different take here, Doug. I got a different on the pronunciation. Before we get any further on this, and we need to clarify this, obviously, right? The way I always thought about it was like VanHo, like it was like people like the van. It's like they're gonna jump. No, maybe I've watched too much
like
Onward.
Tally-ho.
I don't know. Yeah,
It was a spin-off because I was at the time
Tally-ho.
working in NFTs was Vincent Van Gogh, but it was Vincent Van Bro because we're all AVAX bros or whatever bros, you know, crypto bros. And then I was called Sir too much, so I changed it to Vincent Van Ho, and now I'm called Sir still. So I'm just like, yes, hello, how may I help you today?
it's worked out beautifully.
But
I just call you a genius is what I call you.
stop.
Okay. Now after I got interrupted for my genius introduction, let's go back to it, okay? Let's go back to VanHo. She's not only a content creator, influencer type person for things like, you know, Monster Love and everything, but she's also on Coop's list of rocketing starship content creators, AVAX ambassadors and things like that. So when she got put on that list, she was put on my radar, even though she was already on it, but got put on it again. And I was like, whoa, like what's going on in behind the scenes with VanHo? Like, what is she doing? What's she cooking up? So VanHo, what have you been up to recently? What are you excited about right now with all the surroundings, all the things that you're dealing with?
Probably my most exciting thing was getting on the team with Dark Times. Just recently accepted a position there, and I'll be doing, community manager and content creator for Dark Times. So that's like my biggest. And then, thank you. And then AVAX is opening up their Gaming on Avalanche Discord, and I'll be a case manager in there as well as a CM at Love Monster. I'm just 3 games in. I
like
don't know what happened. They call me the bailiff in there. Like, I'm VanHo there. So
yeah, you're gonna be like
VanHo. I like that. Hey, quick, everybody, get the VanHo out. I don't know. To me, that seems like just like you know, hooker on the corner with a giant bag, and like she just feeding someone like the VanHo. I don't know. It's probably not what they're thinking of.
I love it.
I'm trying to keep this program rated G CryptoStache, okay? Like there's
no did we talk about that? Or...
We're gonna take the hoe out of my name. Today I'm just Van.
I mean, it's already on screen now. I don't know what to do.
I don't know. This show's gonna go downhill real fast. I'm just trying to keep it afloat for a little bit, just like tiny for like a few minutes. For Allie's sake, okay? Because she's, you know, she's drinking energy drinks all day, and we got to keep the energy up for her, okay? We got to keep it going and vibing, all right? She's got the Celsius drinks. I'm not sponsored by any energy drinks yet. Someone out there, give me one, okay?
That's surprising.
And then we also have CryptoStache on the show. If you haven't noticed, the stash is here.
It's here.
We both have hats on today, Stash. So
it's
you know what I mean?
It's a sad stash day.
In that category.
It's a sad stash day for it's a sad not my stash, but just all stashes across the world. Today is
the caterpillars of the world are sad.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's true. Just from like one mustache.
Okay, we'll just leave it there for that. Do you have any other like ad lib comments you want? Because Stash, you're really good at the ad lib comments.
I do. How long did it take to get your stash to curl?
Oh man, you know what? I get asked that so much.
It is though, right? Like I've had friends who had to train their beard.
Training.
Yeah.
I mean, I do a lot of training as a secret agent, but one thing I do not have to train is this miracle right here. I literally just wake up every day and it looks this good. It's just, it's always been like that. I don't know what to say.
You don't wax it.
It's all natural, man. This is just it. It's just great.
Well, are you going to come out with your own grooming products?
Part of my magic.
The plot twist is it's actually stick-on.
It's actually, yeah, I know. I just go a new one every day. It looks perfect. That would be a sick plot twist, actually. The whole time. People are like, no, it's fake. No, I've asked multiple times. People have said, like, my mustache is fake. They're like, it's not real. And I'm like, no. And then actually, even at conferences, people come to me like,
can I touch it?
they pull it?
It is real. And no, I've had people. Oh yeah, I've had people pull on it, touch it, like like all kinds of stuff. Yeah, stroke it a little, like ooh, it is.
Wow.
There you go. You should be doing that more often. That's that move right there. That should be a GIF, like right there.
Yeah, the snively lash kind of.
Well, we have an amazing all-star cast here with us today, and if there's one thing CryptoStache is good at is is like the word on the street. You know what I mean? Like the
zero
puts his ear to the ground. You know
when I put my ear to the ground, you know what I hear? Hooves. Riding off into the sunset. That's what I hear. With all the fat bags that they got from us the last couple of months.
Getting the hell out of here.
They're all gone.
That's actually Jesus
Retail's
Martinez.
gone.
He's like, I'm just getting my bags. I don't even care.
Oh man, I classy Jesus is my friend. I like him, dude. He's a good guy. He's cool. But man, that guy is back and forth so much. I think it's just because he's really.
No, it's part of the thing I love about him. I open up my Twitter and like one day he's like, I'm all in on gaming. Next day he's like, I just made.
I think. Can we rebrand him? Can we rebrand him? We'll just call him instead of classy Jesus. Can we rebrand him to flip flop Jesus?
Flip flop Jesus.
Is that
flip-flop Jesus?
No? I mean, all in good fun though.
Jesus didn't wear flip flops. He wore sandals.
That's a good point.
His biblical Jesus, I think, wore sandals and flip flops.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they had the flip flop back then, Doug.
Totally
but
I love
definitely sandals. Definitely sandals.
Jesus, Jesus is one of my favorite people in crypto.
Yeah, he don't watch this show.
Okay. Also, Orangey too. He does all the things with the coins. I love both of those guys.
Orangey's a straight
I love
DJ.
him.
All right, let's move on.
Well, this is just a truth, CryptoStache. We have topics to talk about today, Stash.
We do.
Okay, instead of fighting our best friends, let's talk about topics. Even though I'd rather fight our best friends, let's talk about topics. Okay. So we've seen this flood of this excitement and attention on these. We need to think of a name for this kind of category too, right? Telegram games. And the question is, we see stuff in like the hamster game on Telegram. Tron is becoming a whole hot topic and everything, right? Are we going to see this continue? So let's go to Allie first, because you're on Twitch.
Yes.
You're doing Web 2 things with Hearthstone and other stuff. You're in Web 3, you're in Parallels, you're in really good places. Those are both really beautiful, wonderful games. You have a great show. And when you see something like a Telegram hamster game where you're hitting hamsters, do you think that this is going to be something that grows off into something big? Will we see more of this stuff even spread out to Discord or Netflix or other avenues where there's just a bunch of people hanging out and they can play? We have gaming on Netflix now, and people are just wondering what's going to happen next. Is Web3 going to branch off into these other stratospheres as kind of the next sort of category of gaming?
Well, I certainly think so. I mean, I didn't know about Netflix. That's a new one. I'll have to look into that. But I think I've got a fairly unique perspective because I'm a part of the Play Alchemy team, and we've been developing Discord games for almost 2 years at this point. And we just launched our partnership with Shrapnel, the Lunatics, which is basically like a roguelike auto battler that you play directly in Discord. And I admittedly haven't looked a ton into Telegram games, but in terms of Discord, the problem with a lot of people having access to games is they just don't have the rigs to be able to play them, right? So something like Discord, Telegram, it's super accessible. And there's built-in community automatically. So yes, I'm certainly hoping that Discord and Telegram, games take off. But yeah, I'm certainly all for it. So
thanks for bringing up the Lunatics, because if I brought it up, it would have looked like they were just paying me to say that. But I play that game all the time, Stash. I'm in there trying to figure it out. And when I play those games, I'm like, Mason and Allie are probably so good at this. I should just call them on the phone and be like, hey, what are the tips to playing the Lunatics? Did you make this?
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I think they're complete trash at their own game.
You think they're trash at their own game?
Well,
how good are you?
Okay. Straight up, Mason, sitting next to him at night here, okay, he's trying to beat the expert level bosses, and he made the game, okay?
Yeah.
And he couldn't beat it.
He couldn't beat it. That's perfect. That's what you want, though.
Yeah, and he's like, I might need to make this a little bit easier, because if the developer can't beat the expert boss, it's probably not good.
Yeah.
I didn't know Mason made the game.
Wait, say it again.
I'm gonna message him right now. Mason, give me the secrets. Where are the
Yes.
tips? That's really cool. But I was so glad that you brought that up. I didn't want to hog all the glory for Lunatics and Shrapnel. That's a really interesting thing. You have like a big Web3 game like that a lot of people know about, and then you start to add in other elements and features to not only give value and entertainment, but rewards and keep people interested in what's going on as you develop the game. I think those kind of things are really important. You need to keep people in your ecosystem and show them that you're going to continue to give them things to do and keep them interested in what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, the
Because
reality
development
is,
takes time. People don't realize it in Web 2. Most of the time the games are behind the scenes and then you see it, right?
yeah. I mean, the reality is that a lot of these Web3 games.
Sorry,
like,
sorry, Allie.
Oh, hello? We're good? I was gonna say that the reality is that a lot
I
of
can
these
hear you. Go
Web3
ahead.
games are like still in development, right? They're just not quite ready because game development takes a shitload of time. And so we've actually gotten a decent amount of interest from like fairly established games that are in development right now that want something for their community to do. And that's where it's been really nice to, Shrapnel sort of our like test case here, to see, give the community something to do while the main game is still in development. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for those platforms to potentially get games because, like I said, community is already built in right away. People make the comparison of like a Farmville to Facebook. Obviously, that was very successful, right? So, I definitely could see these things going well.
Oh, that sounds like a perfect category name for these games. Just call them Facebook games, and then they're not even on Facebook.
That's
That'd be so funny.
That's horrible. No, okay, I got the.
I know. That's why it'd be hilarious.
Here's the new term. We're coining it right now on this show. These new games that you play within apps that you already have that are popular, we're gonna call them intra-games.
Intra-games. Ooh, yeah. Okay. I kind of like that. Like
intranet. Did you ever have a? I don't know if you guys know what an intranet is.
Intranet.
Yes, an intranet is like an internal company internet that only they can use that has all the same features, but is within their company. Well, it'd be the same way, right? An app, it already has its own features, its own thing, has games inside of that app too. Intra-games.
Intra-games. I like it.
I'm gonna make a poll right now.
Intra-games.
I'm gonna put it on the Twitter space.
And the crazy thing too is like you're talking, Allie, about like Netflix, and this is something that they've actually had for not that long. It's only been a couple of months, but I saw it just the other day on the home screen when I popped into Netflix, and it was like, you want to play games on Netflix, like scan this QR code now and play some Netflix games. And yeah, so it's crazy how you start to see more of this. And obviously, like you said, Discord has always had, it's always had like mini games. Telegram has been behind on that. Discord has been definitely a champion of like what I would call an intra game, where you go on, you're using this app for a main purpose, something else, right? But then there's like other things you can do. And now Discord has it rolled out as a native feature. They have their own mini games you can play. And it's like, so Discord is very well ahead of everybody on that kind of stuff. So it's good that you guys are building there for sure.
Even before you're done saying that, we have a poll up right now in the Telegram, or sorry, not Telegram, Twitter. That's an in-app game I just made in GameCore. You just vote. You click on it, whether you want intra-games or write your own name. So it's right there. It's in the nest right now. See how fast that is? It's called being a Twitter professional. All right, let's go to... I
like it.
I think there's a delay. You guys are... I think there's like a 5-second delay between
You're getting delayed. Yeah, you're getting delayed, Doug. Yeah, you're getting delayed a bit here.
I think I am. Okay, I'm just going to have to make up for it by being more magical. Okay, so let's go to contestant number 2. VanHo. Sorry.
I thought it was 3.
No, John's
it's fine.
Number 2.
I'll go 2.
You're number 3. Let's go into John. We're going to John. Okay, John. First of all, should we call them intra-games? Go in the Twitch and the Twitters and vote right now. Go vote. Should we call it intra-games? The question for you, though. You're working in marketing for Lowlife forums. You've done probably all kinds of cool things in gaming. Like, do you like these games? Is it something that you actually play, or do you think it's just like straight up farming? Like, what is it? What is it? Fun gaming, or is it just farming?
I mean, I guess you hope it's both, because you want something for people to do, and you hope it's not like torture. I mean, I think
it's kind of fun. It feels like more of a game than just farming.
Yeah, like it's definitely kind of an idle check-in sort of game. I don't know that it's fun necessarily, but you know, how many people have clicked on that hamster now? It's like 150 million people. Like it's going to be hard for people to ignore that success, like because they're going to want 150 million people doing something too, right? So I think especially in the context of these airdrop farms, like you're going to see a lot of people using stuff like that. And then, you know, hopefully the games can gain a little more detail, because like, you know, what I've seen so far in Telegram's a little limited, especially when you consider like comparing them to like QQ in China, where, you know, they had all kinds of different apps and games that people could play in that. So I think, you know, I definitely see a future in it, but I don't know if it's like great yet.
I could agree with that.
All right.
Well, I mean, like,
But okay, I'll say this. There isn't.
so I was gonna say, like, well, as far as
Go
the
ahead,
future thing
go ahead.
goes, like, you know, and you guys can jump in on any time on these topics too. Don't feel like you got to wait for Doug to let you chime in. We're not a raising hand type of thing here. But,
That is not true. You have to listen to my every word.
like, listen to Doug. Absolute control Doug has. No, but I mean, no, I think that you're right, man. John, right now a lot of those games are very simple and straightforward, and they're just kind of they're very straightforward and idle. But man, I mean, like there's so much possibility there. You know, you got a captive audience. They already like what your app mainly does. You know, that's why you have these super apps like you were saying. X is trying to become one, right? And obviously, you know, the East has their big one too, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Twitter might start to, or X might start to.
WeChat is like the big,
implement
it's like the
there.
big thing that everybody uses. It's like an everything app, right? So, I don't know.
That's a really good point. Well, there's a thing like with all these games, I haven't played very many of them. I was never a Farmville person. The only game in this category that I've really played is Lunatic so far. So, Allie, go tell Mason he did a good job, because I'm actually playing that game.
Heck
And
yeah.
I'm in there trying to figure out how to win. Like I'm now kind of obsessed with like how to figure this damn thing out.
It's actually really
but-
fun. Like really fun.
And there's a lore behind it, and it's connected to shrapnel. Like that's what really I think makes it interesting, Allie. Let's go. Okay, VanHo, let's ask you this question. Do you think, I just made this question up right now. See how this is called being a genius? Do you think it's important for there to be rewards attached to these in-app intra games? Like obviously with Lunatics, you can get rewarded with like Moku and Metal and stuff for shrapnel. And these other games, you're acquiring things too. But it seems like to be very reliant in some way on getting rewarded, I feel like. Do you agree with this? And do you like these kind of intra games?
I feel like us as humans like to be rewarded. So I feel like any game should have some type of reward, whether it's the leaderboard or a type of token, or maybe throw some NFTs up in there. That'd be cool. I'm really
Cake, maybe?
echoing. Cake. Let's eat cake. Is it cake? I don't know. But also, you know, you said intra games. I'm like, I call these like toilet games. They're like those simple toilet games you can do on your phone, you know, like
Yeah.
quick second. It doesn't have to
That's a
be
good one too.
ongoing.
toilet game. But mobile games could fall underneath that too.
Well, and then I
That's
was thinking
true.
about Netflix, right? I was like, wow, all these games you could use on Netflix. And I'm like, isn't that like the Epic Game Store already? So then I was like, okay. My brain was really going with it, really excited about Netflix having games. And then I was like, man, all your games in one place. Wow. And then I was like, there's so many places like that, VanHo. Like, but no, like we like the interactive games already on Netflix. And like Ali was saying, like a community with an equipped game, like you're already with your friends and you're like some new game just pops up and you can play it together. Like I feel like that's why some of us are here as well, as like community. So getting to play little mini games or little intra games sounds like a really good idea to me. So
Like intra games.
intra
So
games.
we're just gonna call them toilet games from now on, though. Just Mason would probably love that. Like, just go tell him, like, hey,
Your game
Look.
of
this
toilet
is
game,
a
sir.
toilet game.
I used to call them mindless games, but somebody was like, be honest, like we only play those when we're on the toilet. And I'm like, you're right, they're like toilet games. And then now it's just been
We just
stuck
have
in
to
my
do
head
whatever
ever
we
since.
can to fund people that aren't here, just so that later they hear like what happened and they're like, what show
They're gonna
is
be
that?
like,
And
who
we have
is
to come back,
VanHo?
figure out what's going on, controversy and stuff, right? What's going on? I mean, there is a controversial topic we are going to talk about, Stash. Like, but before we get to that, only one person has voted in the poll so far. It was probably me. Go
It was
up there
me.
on the top of the Twitter thing. It was VanHo. Both of you like intra-games or make a comment. VanHo, put down there your garbage toilet games and all that stuff. Go up there in the nest and just click on it. Just click vote for it, whatever. See if Stash wins. Maybe
I'll say no matter who wins in this poll, I win because we're coining it intra games. It wasn't like really a question, guys.
Well, in the poll, there's only two options: intra games or
there's only two options.
What else you got?
Intra games or what else you got? Yeah, that's perfect.
So like it's pretty much set up for you to win. Like I was pretending that it wasn't, but it's kind of like
setup.
you know,
love a good
making
setup.
it's like I'm always doing this. I'm pretending I'm not doing something. You know, a little bit of that. Okay, let's go to topic number 2, Stash. Unless you want to talk more about intra games because you love them so much, but
I mean, I'll say a little bit on intra games. You know, I will say that you know, I think a lot of it comes down to what you were saying before with rewards. You know, would people play these games consistently if there were no rewards? I don't think so. Would they go in and play them and test them out and hang? Yeah, I'm sure they would go in there. You know, but if for something like that, like it has to be situational. Like VanHo was saying, you know, situationally, I'm on the toilet, I'm taking a shit. What else do? I could scroll Twitter and reply. I could do FaceTime. That's not a good idea. But I could be in Discord. Playing some intra games. But you know, but the thing is, the sorry, the visuals are bad. You know, there's popping in my head now. I can't help it.
This is not me. It's all Stash today. Everything.
No, yeah. So I think the rewards are good, but the rewards don't have to be a token. You know, I think a lot of people get mixed up and think, oh man, if they're not giving financial rewards, if it's not money rewards, then people. I think that a reward needs to be there for something like that. It's a little bit more idle, a little bit more, you know, passive, because you're playing it in a place where you're already just at anyways. It's like an in between thing. You know, it's like, oh, no one's in chat right now. I'll jump in and play a quick game in Lunatics, you know, just because you're right there. It's a game of convenience. You're at the grocery store. You see that pack of Starbursts, or me, it's Takis. When the Takis are at the front of the counter, I can't help it. But that's kind of how I feel these games too. It's like a front of the counter, like it's right there at the line, and you're like, yeah, man, I'll play some of these games.
Convenience, definitely, and also just like I said earlier, accessibility, right? Like a lot of people don't have the ability to play a ton of games, and that's why mobile games are so huge, right? So I think that's a really big pillar of success. And I also think that these games are going to continue to get better over time. Like this is like they're still fairly new, you know, so a lot of them are fairly basic and not that exciting. But you know, if the apps like Discord or Telegram actually support it too, there might be more features that make things a little bit more exciting as well. Like it goes beyond just, you know, text-based stuff. You can spit out videos and automated stuff fairly quickly, even now. So that's what we do with Lunatics. So I think it's going to take some time for them to get better too.
Yeah, I mean, working within limitations is definitely something you have to consider when it comes to platforms, right? But yeah, I will say with Lunatics, when I jumped in, one of the things that I really liked was the fact that you guys had a cool video generation that showed like the battle. Like that's really cool, because usually that would just play out in text. And I've not seen a really good version of that. And you guys did a really great version of that, which I thought was really fun. So.
Well, you know, the real important takeaway, I think, from this whole discussion, I think, is for Lowlife Forums and John, is that, like, now you could make your own Discord or intra game and just call it the toilet game, John. You know what I mean? So it would just fit into the whole life. Look, all the jokes I make and everything I want.
That's actually a good angle, man. That's actually a good angle.
It is, like,
I think
I would
we
check
should
it
sell a
out.
projector
I would
for
just look
your
into
urinal
it.
games, and then you can do some target practice.
Yeah, target practice.
It's like swords. I don't know.
Honestly,
we already noticed that we're gonna lean into all my ridiculous ideas, and John's supporting that. He's writing them in the comments, and I really appreciate that a lot.
Doug, it's already been taken though. Your idea, you're plagiarizing. You already took your idea, bro. Are you kidding me? Dookie Dash.
Yeah, I
you
know.
don't think that's a toilet game?
Thing, but they didn't do a very good job with it.
They should have marketed it as the ultimate toilet game, and that was never even a tagline. That's how lame they are. Like they couldn't even get it together with like $400 million or something. Come on, guys.
They need genius marketers like John here. Look there's a reason that me and John are always giving each other advice in the DMs. Like all my genius ideas probably come from someone like him. All right, but I take all the credit for it. All right. Well, you know, all this fun. coins, gaming, and everything. But there's also another topic that we decided to cover because the GIA got their ear to the ground.
Whoa, hold on.
Stash wants to talk about this.
I think before we jump into this next topic, maybe we see if someone wants to come up from the audience and just talk a little bit about
that's a great idea.
intra-games, Discord games. I see that we got somebody in here that's requested. Let me see who we got on the line here. Who do we got on the line today? We got Terrace Resh. Terrace wants to jump. He wanted to jump in last time, and I felt a little bit bad because we didn't have time for him to get in.
Yeah, let's get Terrace up here.
Should we get Terrace up here?
I like
yeah.
it.
Also, there's a big mobile game out named after him, so why not? He's a big timer.
All right, I think Terrace, you're live, man. Are you you here with us?
Hey, what's going on, Stash? What's up, Doug, VanHo, Allie, Low? How's everybody doing?
Good. Hello.
Are you on the road right now, Terrace? Are you driving?
I'm not driving at the moment. I'm stuck waiting for a load at the moment. My load earlier canceled, so I'm stuck in Illinois. But yeah, I on the topic of the toilet games, that's what I'm going to call them from now on. I actually think that we're reverting back to like how we used to be with gaming. Everybody used to play, like everybody that liked games and loved games and had the internet back when computers were first really coming out, text-based games were a great thing. And everybody loved them because you could sit there and you could like live out a fantasy and play all these different characters and stuff like that. Sort of like how we have regular gaming today, but not everybody has access to it today. You know, so text-based games and the little animations and stuff, they can be fun. I've seen whole communities grow around them.
That's a good point. And for a guy who's gaming and driving big tractors, trailer trucks at the same time, it's easy for you. You could just do text-to-speech gaming. You know what I mean?
Games. Yeah, it's all toilet games.
Well, possibly. But most of those, you still have to interact to some level with text-based games.
Well, you know, you make a good point about text-based games, you know, but the difference between then, like early internet, is we didn't have much else, right? Like, so when you think about now and like a very simple text-based game where there's not a lot of action, maybe it's kind of passive, you know, to compare that to everything else we have, which is so exciting and bells and whistles and hitting all the dopamine trigger, you know what I'm saying? Like those, we've really like narrowed down. Sometimes I feel like those have a hard time grasping people's attention. Yeah, man, I used to play MUDs, like text MUDs back in the day. They were awesome when I was like, 10, 11, 12. But like if I had the games we had now and I was trying to, like, this is lame. As a young kid, I'm like, this is stupid. I don't want it, right? So it's definitely crazy how the context is so different. But accessibility is still one of the greatest factors about it. So you're definitely on point there.
I think that I would rather play a really well-designed text-based game over a really poorly designed 3D game any day.
Yeah, I could probably agree with that. What do you guys think?
I like Rumble. I know that's text-based, and I get a hoot out of that one, and I just click a button. That's all I do. And then I killed a bunch of people, and I loved it.
I think good games are good games, right? So it's like if you make, it doesn't matter the platform. If someone is enjoying it, like, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like playing Texas Roundup. Roundup all my friends, Stash, and we got to talk about some serious topics now. I think
thanks,
Stash
Terrace.
on the
Terrace.
program. Yeah, Terrace. Hey, also shout out to Terrace. I make jokes about it, but Terrace is awesome. He's running around the country, working hard and playing games and hanging out with us at all times. And I really appreciate you, Terrace. You're the man.
And he just got that Onekin ambassadorship. So congratulations.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks,
buddy.
I appreciate it. I requested before when you were calling VanHo a genius because I love how
he knows
how I love how free he is with the word. It's like, oh, everybody's a genius. Doug's like, I'm the only one that's not. It makes you feel bad about him. But the only thing that concerns me with these toilet games is how we're going to incorporate things like Web3 into it. Because if you see a lot of the games that were like little gimmicky games that we would play occasionally have become these games that we're now all addicted to and we're trying to farm as much as we can. Maybe not all of us, but a lot of us are consistently like stuck on these games because, we got to farm the airdrops. We got to play to earn. We got to play to... And it's really kind of frustrating because some of them aren't the best of games. Some of them are games that we wouldn't touch any other time except to casually hit the toilet and play something while we're,
But there's
taking care
something
of
to
business.
that. Yeah, there's something to that too. So like, if it's worthy enough to be able to, get your toilet time, that's a preference. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not, there's a lot of other games out there that not making it to the toilet round. So.
That's very true too.
You guys ever played that 40-80?
Thanks,
That's my toilet game. Where you just slide, trying to get the numbers to match up. It's mindless. I can put it down, and then it's good.
I'm honestly I'm responding to all of you guys on Twitter while I'm on the toilet. That's what I'm doing. I'm like, God, get out.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay,
Too.
I'm getting my reply, guys, and yeah.
All right, let's move on.
That's the
This
Web
is how
three
I DM everyone for the show.
toilet game is
Yeah.
responding on Twitter.
All right, I guess we'll go to topic number 2. Stash, you want to start us off with this? You wanted to change the subject today. It's a kind of a big, surprising, shocking news. Like this might be one of the biggest news stories of the whole year. Period. Midnight Society is dropping Mr. Disrespect from their team. Sorry, go ahead, Stash.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't know about all year. Yeah, for those that don't know what's going on, because this just happened like about an hour ago. I tweeted about it like in between, like while it was happening. I tweeted about it because like Doc had a stream earlier today. He cut it short and basically was and said, "Hey, I'm done streaming. I'm gonna take an indefinite break. Essentially, I'm not gonna stream anymore for a while. Who knows if he's gonna come back." And then also said that he was, also going to take a step back from Midnight Society and maybe pursue other things, do other stuff. And the way he said it was like, okay, I could kind of see it, like taking a step back from everything. But then literally I posted right after the live stream, like, oh man, looks like he might be taking a step back from Midnight Society, like it was more of a voluntary thing. But then it turns out they put a post shortly after saying that they saw the allegations on Friday, which are old allegations, but nonetheless, and they decided to can him. Essentially part ways, and based just off allegations, like no actual evidence, nothing's been proven. There's not even really much evidence at all of anything, which is kind of crazy. But the thing here, I think that we really want to focus on is not. I mean, we don't know much about the allegations, so no point focusing on that. But when you talk about like Midnight Society as a studio, and a studio that had integrated some Web3 elements and was kind of working on some of those angles, what happens now in this situation? Well, what does the studio survive? Do people keep the NFTs? Are people sweeping the floors? What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's go reverse order. Let's go to VanHo first this time, number 3. Yeah. She's like, this is my favorite topic.
I was like, I'm gonna wait for everybody else's opinion on this.
Okay, we can skip you. Let's go to John. Let's go to John. You're cut. You're skipped. Let's go to John. John, what do you think about this? You're on a team of a game. Like, if they're, how do you think this is going to affect Midnight Society and all the things happening? I saw a lot of people, like hundreds of people posting that they were going to, like, they're out of the game. They're like, I'm done with this game now. So it looks like a lot of people are upset.
Yeah, I don't know. And like you said earlier, there's not a lot of proof or evidence or anything to go by, but obviously this is something that's followed him for a while. So, I guess one could imagine they found something. Right? So, but I mean, DEADROP's kind of in a shitty spot, obviously, because right, like that kind of their hook is like the, Disrespect was on the team, and it's going to be like the shooter that he endorses and plays and helps create.
I mean, the whole game was built around his persona, really. I mean, all the whole style.
So my guess is they might find a new persona to bring on, maybe a certain Doug Hype or a CryptoStache. I think they like guys with glasses and facial hair, maybe.
Or coats.
But
solid.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess it would be a question for them and their investors and try to figure out, like, if they're still going, if the project is worthwhile without kind of like their chief hook, I guess, in a way. And I guess we'll find out more for them soon. I mean, I actually worked with both of these guys in the past. So I was at Robotoki with, also run by Robert Bowling. So, but I haven't heard from him on this either. So this is all very recent, and I'm sure
They
he
said
thinks
they
it's
did their
too.
own investigation or something, but like, they made this decision
It's weird.
just today. We're just kind of dealing with it. Okay, let's go to Allie. In a situation like this where you have somebody who's a streamer and somebody who's so public and has such a gigantic following, it's kind of crazy on both sides of the spectrum, right? Where it's like, whatever they did must have been pretty crazy, or like, they're also like, you're in a situation where we're in a culture now. If you do sometimes if there's any allegations, you can just have all your stuff kind of like fall apart. How do you feel about the Midnight Society like cutting him loose so quickly? It feels like they just literally did some, like maybe they talked to a few people and just got rid of it, that situation immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was a decision that they took very lightly at all. So I mean, it was bad enough, bad enough PR that that got them to this point. I it sucks for them. Like I think that they're in a pretty tough spot. I'm not gonna lie. But to be completely honest with you, like please correct me if I'm wrong. I could be ignorant on this, but I feel like I hadn't really been hearing much about DEADROP in general in a while. Like to me, it was kind of
They went
falling out
silent
of.
on purpose a little bit.
Are they like that? Could have been a
Mhm.
strategy
No,
where
they did. They actually made an announcement saying that they were gonna like step back from public building.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
this was like
Right.
6 months ago or so. So it's been a while. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
then that would
they said
explain
they're going
it.
to build in private a bit.
Yeah, which is honestly a valid strategy. I mean, it seems like it's the meta to build in public. But I was, always kind of wary of it as it is, and now this happens, and so now I'm like, I don't think they're in a great spot. But it could be a story where they attach a new name to it and it becomes a thing. A lot of people were excited about it, and it's possible that they could recover from this point, but I think it's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, I think the strength of the game was the storytelling of having all the elements of Doctor's Respect and the vibe and the feeling of it. And then the game itself was like, in development and doing okay. People playing it and everything. Like maybe about 6 months to a year ago, they had like a bunch of play tests and all this stuff going on and kind of a little bit of hype. But it makes it kind of tough when like especially the whole game is like branded around his brand. It basically was almost his game,
Well,
right?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's branded all around his brand. I mean, there's definitely a large aesthetic footprint that he has on the game, right?
Yeah.
I think that is pretty obvious. But I'm gonna go the opposite direction here. I'm gonna say that everyone, the thing that everyone says was like, oh my gosh, these are horrible allegations. How, as a studio, they're not left with much choice because they got to get out away from because now they're associated with him. Now those allegations will be associated with their studio. Is the way everyone looks at it, right? Because that's why they want to depart with him, because we don't want that bad stuff over here. We don't want bad PR, none of those things. But let me tell you, in this particular situation, where that might almost always be the right way to go, in this particular situation, I think they actually made a mistake, right? What's going to be more detrimental to your brand and your game and your overall like the way you're seen within the community? Is it going to be okay, well, the people who aren't going to play our game are going to take some issue with us because of bad PR that we're going to have, right? And that might kill our game, which is why we got to get rid of them. If we don't get rid of them, this bad PR, it may just kill our game. That's what people will say, right? That's the reason, I would assume, why they don't want to be associated with them, because the bad PR is going to kill their game. I don't know what other reason there might be, right?
I mean, maybe he just wasn't I mean, this is a hot take, but it's possible he just wasn't a great partner either. Like how much, like,
that's
we
true.
don't know how much effort he was putting in, or like,
100%. But you wouldn't do it like this. If that were the case, you would just, and he was a shitty partner and he sucked at what he was doing, you would just still just milk him for his name and for his and that might be what was going on anyways. We don't know. But what I'm saying is, as a studio, what's going to be the bigger detriment to your game and being successful with your studio and this game? Is it A, firing Doc and angering everyone who's actually playing the game or would ever play the game, or B, placating the people who would take issue with this because of these allegations? So what I'm saying is that the damage that you might get as a company because of these bad allegations be associated with your company was probably less in this situation than pissing off and getting rid of Doc and setting sail on all those things, because I think that definitely puts a nail in the coffin for the game, in my opinion, unless they go a completely different situation, right?
I put up a poll on the Twitter thing if people think that at this juncture right now it was a smart move for them just to cut loose, or people can vote yes or no and put comments if they want. Sorry, go ahead, Stash. Yeah, it looks like
almost
pretty
everyone
good.
is going to say yes, it was the right move, because that's what that's exactly what we're trying to do. There's no loyalty. Someone was talking about loyalty here. Like literally, you work for a company, you're the CEO, you've built it from the ground up. There's no fucking loyalty. No one gives a shit, dude. At the first sign that you might get canceled as a company or the owner of a company, you will literally shit on anybody you've ever worked with in your entire life, no matter what happened. You will. We see this time and time again now. Nobody supports anybody. Like as soon as there's anything, cut them. And we've seen it time and time again.
Okay,
now,
we already have a lot.
I think it was a bad move. Now I understand it. I get it, because it's the natural move. It's the natural move of what any company would probably do in this situation. But I do think that when we look back in hindsight, we'll see that was probably not the best move, man. You're weighing the two bad things. They both suck. I'm not saying either is good, but man, one decision may have led to the game still, coming to fruition, and one might not.
So I put up that poll, and literally within I don't know, a minute, 30 seconds, we already have 14 votes, and it's 79% of people say he should not have been let go at this right now.
Sam in the comments over here, and I don't know if he's in Twitter here, but Sam in the comments, he's right, man. And this is what I said too. As soon as I saw this, there's got to be more going on behind the scenes, because you look at the posts and the way that people that Midnight Society talked about it, like, we saw the allegations, we went and talked to some people, and then we decided we're getting rid of him. So it's like they're saying that they got information that they can't disclose that then led to them making this decision. And it's like the way they crafted that post, man, there's a lot, I think, to read into that, and the way they said it and the way they wrote that. Because you don't write a post like that just willy-nilly. It's not the Midnight Society intern that wrote that post.
Well, they said they did a bunch of investigating and talked to a bunch of people.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I think that for sure there's more going on behind the scenes that we don't know. And if that comes to light ever, that would definitely change my opinion on the subject. But based upon what we have now, I can only
people are asking in the comments what the allegations are. You can go and just Google it, and there's a bunch of articles and stuff written, but it's about stuff that happened with when Twitch let him go, and allegations of him doing certain things.
The allegation was that he was sending sexy text through Twitch to a minor. That was the allegation. Right. It wasn't. It was basically like it was a null thing. They didn't know. It was essentially deemed, I guess, I don't know about in court officially, but they settled on this essentially. Twitch and Dr. settled on this, and basically I think part of the settlement was don't say anything either. Like no one can say anything ever. Right. Which is weird.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, you don't know the situation, what was going on, and whatever. But and the allegation is just talking. There's no allegations of him actually doing anything, like actually physically.
That's all you need these days. Like all you need is allegations. You don't even need proof anymore.
That's
something blow up on social media. That's all you have to do. It sucks.
So
in general, though, it's not like he has like that great of a track record. I'm
not saying he does. Look, once again, it's not necessarily like, okay, well, did he do this or not do this? Could be not. You're right. Doesn't have a great track record. That's true. But the way all this has gone down,
that can also play into it more. If you have this certain thing, a stigma attached to you, then it can make it something you do seem maybe even worse than it is. I don't know. It's hard to say, right?
They started the studio. They started the studio after these allegations had already been around for years. So
true.
It wasn't like they didn't know, like, oh my god, we didn't know any of this about Doc until we got into bed with him. Man,
yeah, everyone involved knew everything like years ago. They already knew. Yeah. They just kind of like rehashed it now somehow.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
For whatever reason. And part of it is that the person like that did like that basically was shouting out to the world was also trying to get attention for his like local band shows or something, and said, if you come to my local shows, I'll tell you in person what he did. So there's all this weird stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. The guy who was the whistleblower essentially.
The whistleblower was trying to get attention for himself by whistleblowing, and it was very bizarre. It was really, there's a lot of weird stuff.
I think the point is here is that Doc is just a loose cannon, and Midnight Society probably for it. It wasn't just the allegations. That's why I said earlier, perhaps he just wasn't a very good partner. He's like talking in this video how he's burnt out, not just on streaming. Maybe it's gaming too. Maybe, it could be a whole culmination of things of why they led to this decision, and so that's why like. From the success of the game standpoint, I guess it would be better for them to have him still attached to it. But like, we don't know that, with all the moving pieces, maybe this really was the right decision, and
Or
I don't know.
No,
Sorry,
you're right. Honestly, that's just a time will tell type of thing.
Yeah.
It could go either way. It's just my opinion.
Well, and
I do
also,
think
what if
that will kill the game, but it could.
there could be legal implications here, or Midnight Society might have some legal things where, like, hey, if we say that like one of our partners had a legal thing, then we're off the hook for something else. There could be so many legal things that are involved with this that we don't know about that like push them towards one side of for certain outcomes. Because with business and corporations or whatever, there's always this stuff involved of like a lot of it's like liability type stuff too, where it's like they might not even know what they really believe, but liability wise, they're like, we kind of have to do this legally. So I don't know. It's a very kind of messy situation. John or VanHo, do you have any other input that you want to give in this? Did you vote? Did you vote in my poll?
I voted no, but I also just don't know. Like I only found out about this today, so because I haven't been online today. But I kind of feel like how Allie does, like if like maybe he's done some things too in the past. Like we just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have enough information to
Maybe
form an
there's more that
opinion.
we
That's
don't
the
know
problem.
going
Is that
on.
nobody has?
That's
That's
the
the problem. Is
thing.
nobody has enough information to really say, "Yeah, this is definitively what happened." That's what sucks, and that's
I
why
mean,
I'm
and
kind of pointing out to being a weird
they're
decision. Whether or
what if
not
they were already what if they were already tanking anyways? They just needed something, either a spicy take to
That's
throw
what I'm
out there.
saying.
This was it. Like I don't
It could have
know if
been
know.
that
them
helps
just get out
them,
of jail free card.
I
Like
don't
they're
think
like,
that helps
oh, that
in any kind of
flopped
way.
insurance. Like I don't know. There could be so many different things. But if it had already been laid to rest, like he obviously nothing even happened, and now this many years, some things just what like doesn't make sense. But I don't know, being fired over something that had happened and been put to rest by like it looked like it had been seriously, like it said legal teams plural were like on this case. So like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't think it makes sense to fire him now. Curious what the ex Twitch employee brought forward. That probably wasn't in their contract or something, but I don't know.
Well, he
Just not
wanted
enough
people to show up for
information.
his band showcase at the local saloon. You know what I mean? That was really important for him. So he had to like
And
figure
people
out a
will
way.
do that. Yeah, but people do that and it's not right. So
Our poll is up to 51 votes now, and it's 71% saying at this point he should not have been. Of course, we're just going off the information we know. These companies might have more information that we don't know.
And I think that's kind of what I that's what I said at first too. I go looking at what we see here, they have to know something more that we're not seeing, right? I think that's what it comes down to. Is it we're speculating, we don't know what's going on, but I think they do know more. I think Midnight Society probably did find out some information that they needed to find out to make that final decision, whether it was firing him based upon just this or based upon a series of things that were issues, throughout the history of their working relationship. We don't know that either, but this was the straw. We know that. Whether there was only one straw, there was multiple straws, man, that camel's back is broken.
So what do you
yeah, it
think
kind
is
of
their
makes me
best
wonder.
strategy? Oh, sorry. I was just
Oh
gonna
no,
say,
you're
what do you think
good.
is their best strategy moving forward? Like, should they find another huge FPS partner? Like, if
just get Alliestrasza on board and they're good. Just get the Ollie
no,
team.
I'm not
She's like,
touching that
an
with a 10-foot
FPS
pole.
partner.
I'm not touching that.
No. But like, I guess I don't know the parameters of like how much Doc owns, of the title or whatever it may be. But I would imagine that if he did care, he probably wouldn't want to see it crash and burn. So, should they partner with another FPS influencer, streamer, or whatever, like that save it, or do you think it's just done?
I don't think something like that would save the game, because I don't think that was the fact that, oh, this was a game that was partnered with a big streamer and that's why it was successful. I think you could see a ton of other streamers attempt to do something similar and fail miserably. I think it was particularly just because of who Doc was, his brand, and his fan base. I think that really worked really well with what's going on with what they're trying to do. How do they save it? I mean, like, they still got to deliver a good game. If you can deliver a game that you know, plays well and people enjoy playing it and it's fun and it's a little bit different, and they can kind of deliver on that original vision, because whereas Doc was a big part of it, he was not like 100% of everything. Like, there's a lot of people behind that you know, that game and on that team that are amazing and do great work. And so, you know, I think that if they can just refocus on that, get that work done, man, and put something out that is going to be fun and quality, you don't necessarily need to have Doc on board. Does that kick the marketing train into 1000% overdrive? Yes, it does. And that is the biggest thing that is the problem we see today, not just in Web3 gaming or crypto gaming, but in gaming in general, is visibility. When there's thousands and thousands of games out there, and even more being created every single day and faster than they ever have been before, how do you get attention and eyeballs on your game in a sea of games? And having something like that is a great way to do that. You know?
But maybe that's what this is, you know? Like, maybe this is
if you want to
the
get on the
eyes.
ground floor, VanHo, you can go and get the floor. Just went down to like $80 for Minute Society NFTs. VanHo, you can get in there. You can get some. The floor tanked from like $300 to $80 just in the last.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to follow those footsteps, you know. So I'm gonna leave that one there because I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm gonna just put that one to the side.
There could be some geniuses out there that sweep that floor right now, and then later on,
it could be a marketing plan. I don't know.
This would be a really weird marketing. Like, I've seen some stunts that are like, oh, that was a good marketing ploy, and it was like a negative thing or something that they've done. I don't know that this would be that one.
Yeah, when they're always like, "There's no publicity that's publicity," but this is definitely bad publicity.
That was a pretty rough. We're thinking the weeds there, VanHo, with this topic here. You know what I mean? We're thinking the weeds. It's like Rough Riders. It's a rough topic. It's a difficult thing to think about. But VanHo, do you think we should go to the lightning round? What do you think? Should we go to Ka-chow? Ka-chow. That's Lightning McQueen for you guys in the audience. Ka-chow. The lightning round. Okay. If you guys read the brief, the GIA brief, you'll know that the question for the lightning round is, what is your favorite Ubisoft game? And also, this is kind of a wink-wink because Ubisoft's coming up with like a big old mint. All right, let's go to John. John, what is your favorite Ubisoft game?
I think the original Splinter Cell. That game was so good.
It's a good one.
You had the night vision, and you could like get up on walls with your feet and stuff, and like drop down on guys. And I don't know. It was like so different from even Metal Gear, which was kind of like the same theme, but just the gameplay had everything that you wanted from. And I'm kind of sad that they don't keep making Splinter Cell games.
Yeah,
because those were bitching.
That's a good one.
VanHo, let's go to you. What is your favorite Ubisoft game?
Okay. My very first computer game ever played was Rainbow Six, so I feel like I have to go with it. But in my older age, Just Dance.
Just Dance.
It's good. It's a good one.
All right.
It's good. I don't know how to dance, but that game taught me a little bit, you know.
All right, I like dancing games. All right, Allie, what is your favorite Ubisoft game of all time?
Honestly, don't have one. I didn't play Assassin's Creed. Like, I don't even know. I have played Just Dance, but this like TCG card gamer, I don't think I've played hardly any of them. So I unfortunately have to sit out of this one. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I love this. I love this response, CryptoStache. I love it. You know what I love about it? Yeah, I'm not a big Ubisoft fan. I like Assassin's Creed. I like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and smashing people with my axe. But if you're like, hey, I'm just gonna, this is the next Ubisoft game, it doesn't really get me that jacked up. You know what I mean? It's not my favorite. So, Allie, I'll be on your side. I'll be like,
thank you.
I don't really have a favorite one.
Ubisoft has made so many great games, dude. Like through like decades of gaming, and you've not played one Ubisoft game.
And Allie didn't even want to play one of them. She doesn't even like any of them.
I don't think so.
You should pick four.
I bet you have. I bet you have, and you don't even know
it. I think that's probably the more likely case. Is I didn't even know it was them. But yeah, I'm looking at them now, and no, I know.
That's crazy.
You should play Rayman.
You're not a real gamer. I knew this whole time. You're not a real gamer, Alliestrasza.
Hey,
I knew it. I knew you were in a real game.
Parallel is hard as fuck.
Use your brain.
I played that game. It's hard. Okay, so smart. Okay, but that game is hard. So.
All right, Allie. Bring your best Magic the Gathering deck. to the next event.
Okay,
And it's
you're
going,
on,
we're going down
Stache.
live.
You're on. All right, I'm down.
She whips out
I
solitaire.
know you play MTG. You got a set? You got
Uno
sets?
cards.
You got sets? You got MTG sets, Allie?
I have some actual cards, not many, but I think I can scrap together a deck.
All right.
Got it. I've got
She
enough.
shows up with Pokemon. Bro, I'd be
She's like, aren't these them? Are these not?
She's
the
all right,
cards? I
all
don't know.
right.
Oh, look, Doug. I'll tell you since you didn't ask, Doug, but I'll tell you but you didn't ask. It's okay. My favorite Ubisoft game. My favorite Ubisoft game is Rabbids, dude. Rabbids is like the most underdog. Like I love that game, man. And Ubisoft has made some great games.
Which one? The Mario one? Because I have that one right now.
Mario and Rabbids is actually not bad.
I thought it was a little cringe.
It's not bad. And not my favorite Rabbids game though. No. The best ones were on the Wii. The Wii Rabbids games were so fire. If you guys, any of you guys have a Wii? None of you guys have a Wii?
I don't have one anymore, but I had one.
Best party game system ever. But the ones on the Wii were so awesome. Nobody here play Rabbids? Come on, man.
I have it
Great
now
game.
because my kids were like,
Yeah,
hee
Rabbids
hee,
is
can I have rabbits? And I was
hilarious.
like, all right, yeah,
you
sure.
guys have kids, that's why.
Crazy little. No, I play Rabbids my entire like growing up. Like it's just one of those games, man. It's a good game. Rayman? You know Rayman?
I didn't know
Rabbids?
rabbits were a
Rayman's
thing
great.
until like my kids were watching it on Netflix. So
Fair enough. What about you, Doug?
Well, my real answer is that my nephew, I'm on family vacation right here up in the mountains and that's the spark and everything. My nephew, who's 11, he actually likes Rainbow Siege 6. I didn't even know that he played first-person shooter games, so he likes that one.
yes.
Look at that. You love that game. And I do.
do.
Kind of like Assassin's Creed games a little bit, but I don't really like them enough to like play them a whole lot. Maybe the new one will be good. So they're like okay, but they're just not like the gaming studio that I really, and also the Bones and Skulls game they just released. Like I want to like it, but I don't know. The feedback's been like sort of on that thing for 10 years of development. You know, it's not really my favorite thing. So but those are kind of my favorites in the Ubisoft. But I'm more so on Allie's side where it's like I'm not really an Ubisoft person.
You were
Sorry.
shaming
All right,
me
Stache,
for not
that's my
playing
final
them.
answer.
But
We
Doug
spoke
hasn't
through and we
played
were
them very
like,
much either.
just pick one. There really
Just
wasn't
pick one
much
out.
on that list though. Yeah, I was like Just Dance and Rainbow Six were about. I mean, I do know the Rabbids game, but like
So many
I was
good
like,
games on
are we
Ubisoft,
just
man.
not?
So many good games. Did you guys play Skull and Bones? That's a recent one. X Defiant? No.
It is
You don't play
fun.
X Defiant? Also
Skull
fun?
and Bones, if I actually played it, probably would be my favorite Ubisoft game if I actually had time to really sit down and play it. It's not bad. Yeah.
You know, hey.
Okay,
I don't know,
Ubisoft,
man.
make sure to send me a DM.
There's a new Prince of
and
Persia
hire
coming
me.
out also as well. Star Wars Outlaws, which is also coming out here. In
Oh, are
a
they
couple
making
of months.
Star
That's gonna
Wars
be fire.
Outlaws?
Yeah, Sam over here, Ubisoft in shambles. Star Wars Outlaws is gonna be fire, dude. I've saw a lot of footage on that game. It looks so good, and like
I'm
open
excited.
story Star Wars game. That's fun.
Are they making that? I didn't even realize that. Yeah, they are. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that might change my mind
I'm
on
in.
Ubisoft maybe if it's good. It better be
Tell me,
really
bro.
good though.
I mean,
It
okay,
might be really. It better be really good.
Let me just read it. Let me just read off some of these Ubisoft games, man. Like you got Prince of Persia, new one coming out, awesome. They did the Avatar game that just came out, also really good. Probably nobody here's played it.
Ooh.
Far Cry, all the Assassin's Creeds, all Rainbow Sixes, Tom Clancy's, all the Tom Clancy's.
Loved 'em.
What else is on here that people will know? Brawlhalla, which is really cool. I don't know if you guys know Brawlhalla, probably maybe not. Obviously, we
That
talked about-
that Riders Republic, I would probably play that. That look good. That looks good.
yeah, so many good ones, lots of good stuff.
Rayman. Don't forget the Rayman. The little.
Yeah,
Rayman
I said Rayman
rabbits.
earlier. Yeah, Rayman's one of the early ones too. It's good. All right.
All right. Enough shilling for Ubisoft. Enough of that. All right. We're really.
Ooh,
what we're
Family
really
Feud.
It's not
here
even a
is-
show. It's just like they have a big.
We are
NFT
here
mint
to
that's
show
like
for lunatics, okay, and
75,000
low life
NFTs
forms because they
coming out,
pay
so-
me money. Go buy those games. Go get them right now. Even though they might not be out yet, go get them. Go play freaking lunatics and get
Let's
some
go.
medal or multi points or something. Okay. All right.
Family Feud.
Stache. Everybody here. This has been a wonderful, amazing show. Thanks for putting up with like my mountain internets and everything, and the cowboy action going on up here. If you want a real game, raising ropes and Broncos. All right, like get the ropes out there. All right. We got beautiful people, amazing people on the show today. John, thanks for coming from Lowlife Forums. We're going to be seeing more stuff from them. Also, you can come on my Twitter show, Hyped. We'll be having Lowlife Forums and all you guys on the show again. And come to hang out on that show. It'll be a lot of fun. VanHo, you are an ambassador for a whole blockchain, which is pretty dope. Thank you for coming on. Really love your energy. I love your support. You're a lot of fun. Hey, you've got a great personality. You always make me laugh, which is important. Allie, thank you so much for all your posting about energy drinks. I love it. I can't get enough.
One time.
I don't know what's going on here either. He
One
keeps saying
time.
energy- I don't know what he's talking about.
She
Okay.
made a
What is
video
going on?
about how her friends say energy drinks are bad for you and you shouldn't drink them. And I
Okay,
thought it
for
was the funniest thing
context,
ever.
I had never tried Celsius last night. Okay,
Okay,
never.
uh-huh.
Like this is the one I'm a coffee drinker. I don't usually do energy drinks. And I posted about it and I was treating it like it was this crazy thing, like I'm taking a freaking hard
Yeah.
drug or something. Because apparently they
Yeah.
make you go crazy, these Celsius drinks. Anyway, I was fine. Doug thinks it's fascinating. There's the context. I drink
I am
coffee.
fascinated with it because like all the gamers
That's
in the
weird,
world
yeah.
like just drink energy drinks all day. They're just like energy
I
drinks
don't.
from
I'm
the
not.
ceiling.
I know. I
And
can't do
she's
that.
like, I
Ugh.
can't drink it.
Nah, bro. I don't know who does that.
it
That's
was
only like crack
it's-
18-year-olds or something, man. I don't.
Yeah, it's great content, Allie. I love it so much. And then you show your friends. It's great. It's wonderful. Stash, thanks for having a great agency that with their ear to the ground, getting all the information. I love being part of the GIA. And being just a good person. Everybody here are great people in Web3 gaming. Love you guys so much. The community's freaking amazing. Stash thinks you're mid, but I think you're pretty good. I think you're up here.
Based.
I think we're up here. You're above the hat line, okay? All right. Thanks everybody for coming to the show. Thanks for everybody on the Twitter stream. We didn't bring anyone up from Twitter to talk about the last topic, but that's fine. We're rugging you. Get the hell out of here. Go have some dinner. Do something. Touch some grass. Tell your friends about the GIA, about Around the Metaverse. Also, we'll see you guys on Hyped on Wednesday. Everybody on the show here and everybody in the audience is invited to that. Please come if you're available. That'd be really fun. We talk about gaming and we have a good time. Stash is there and all these people and everything. So I love you guys so much. And giddy up, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Over and out.
Bye.